Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, and tonight my co-host is Sabina. Hello, Sabina.
Hello, Pam. How are you?
I'm crazy. How are you?
Crazier. No.
Good, because I think we're going to have some fun guests tonight. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. They sound like they're ready to go.
And I'm going to announce them, and I hope I don't mess up their names too bad, so forgive me ahead of time. Tonight we welcome Terra Rising Records founder Michael-Ricucci and Vice President Michelle-Akaras, who are currently in production for a documentary about the power of music to heal and connect communities, and it's called The Case for Music. And we'll discuss that and more, and I believe they are on the phone now. So tell me, Michael and Michelle, how bad did I do?
You did excellent. Absolutely.
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
Good, I'm glad. I always that's kind of important, somebody's name.
Well, we started off on the right foot, so we're ready to go.
Good, good. Well, have you guys been busy today? Is the documentary done? Let's go. Let's roll. I want to see it.
All right. Well, we'll just not even close right over right now. We'll just get in the Learjet and come right over. No, we're still in the process. We're in production right now, and we're actually taking a little bit of a break because we're producing a live event this Saturday called Universal Music Care. So we've definitely been focused on that and promoting the show and just organizing with so many people. So today, if you've been, as you have, a part of social media, we've been pretty much on the ball with as many people as possible. So it's definitely been a week and a month worth of promotion and just on the go, always promoting this Universal Music Care.
Wow. And you said that all in one breath.
I'm impressed.
I think you've gotten used to, talking to so many people that you've learned how to save oxygen or something. But let's get started with some background for both of you, for our listeners, so they know who you are. Michael, I read that you were a head baseball coach at a university. You won a national championship. Tell us more about that, how you got started and came to doing this documentary.
Sure, I was. I was a college baseball coach at an NCAA Division II university for the last 6 years, and we had a lot of success. We won a national championship and set a bunch of different records. I fell completely backwards into that. I was actually selling shoes while I was
wow.
Yeah, well, I played college baseball, and it hurt my shoulder. And so I was supposed to finish up with student teaching, and with my shoulder in a sling, I couldn't do that, but I could definitely sell shoes. So I did that, and after about 10 months, I ran the other way and back to school so I could do something, and I just showed up in the athletic director's office, and I asked him if I could, clean the uniforms or keep score. And he was like, well, you played here. And then I said I did, and so he made me the pitching coach. Not probably the best background check or anything into if I was qualified to be a pitching coach, but at the time and place
just
they were at,
you went there.
Yeah, I don't think they were really asking a lot of questions. So no, they ended up making me the head coach in the middle of that following season, and we won more games at the end of it than any program in the school's history. But through that, I missed music. I'd been a part of music pretty much my whole life, and so I really saw a need for the music education programs and music therapy programs around the country to they were lacking funds, resources, commitment from individuals. So rather than just kind of falling back on my performance background and making music and for the sake of making music, I really wanted to tap into the people that were really, making music already and using it in different ways to promote music education and music therapy. And so I wanted to take a model of fundraising that I learned at the university and apply it to different programs so that so rather than just asking, your community organizations or government organizations for money, private companies or just different individuals could come together and create fundraisers to help support these music programs that, enhance children not only on a musical level but a much deeper level. And that's what the documentary is trying to show, that scientific evidence of the power of music on the brain and the rest of the physical body, as well as the mental part. So that's my background. Michelle?
Well, thank you. Now, and I see, Michelle, you have so many batons in the air. I don't know. You're an artist, a filmmaker, a director, an actor. You've been involved with film and theater projects. I'd say you're a perfect fit for Terra Rising's project.
Yes,
Tell us more about
agree.
what you've done and how you hooked up with Michael.
Okay. Well, if you would have asked me, Pam, 10 years ago, I would have not considered myself any of those things, actually. I was on track at the University of Maryland as a science major, bio major, and I thought, I'm going to be like a wildlife biologist, or I was kind of playing with cell biology and thinking about med school, but I was really focused in the sciences, and sort of serendipitously I was feeling in a rut, and I got a brochure in the mail for Studio Theater, which is a theater and an acting conservatory in Washington, D.C., and I thought, well, I'm going to be just terrible at this, and so why not? So I went ahead and took the class and ended up being invited into the conservatory there and unleashed the artist that was hiding in me. And
wow.
So I started acting and was in front of the camera for a while and doing some theater projects. But when I was on set, I was absolutely in love with the entire process, and I was sort of nicknamed a set rat because when all of the other actors would, go into the other room and play with their cell phones and whatever, I just wanted to be a part of the entire process. So I would help carry lights and ask all the questions from the cameramen and try to figure out why they were setting up shots the way that they were and talk to the writers, and I just wanted to know everything about the whole process, and I really fell in love with it and tried to learn as much as possible. And I started in July of 2011 a production company, Phoenix Rising, and that production company was intended to raise funds for arts programs through theater and film projects. And shortly after, I met Michael, and he had founded in about the same time, in July of 2011, Terra Rising Records, which was using music to do the same thing. And so, we decided, what the hell? Let's join forces and do this music and film theater production company and, put our passion and our energy together to, really make a difference for the arts. So that's
I think that you're both fated to be together just by your names of your companies. I mean, you both have Rising in there. How I can't even find the words for that. Right. That is so weird, strange, great.
Rising. It goes on July 2011, and we didn't know each other at the time while we were, founding our own companies there. And so, it does seem really intended.
That is I love that. I love that story. That's perfect. You guys are meant to be, and I think you're doing a phenomenal job for the world, for people in general. And how did you connect or find all the people you chose to be in the documentary?
Well, that's kind of
Twitter.
When you talk about the synchronicity of our company, the Phoenix Rising and Terra Rising, that's carried over into how we've connected with people all over the country. Really, Twitter. I mean, Pam, that's why we're on the radio now. Is we were talking over Twitter when I was in the back of a van,
right?
In March somewhere in Arizona. And we were planning on meeting you in Chicago. So it was
right.
This has really been an organic experience, been cultivated over long periods of time, and we've had the benefit of meeting different people that we've met through social media, along the way, and we really had, just in terms of the documentary, all face-to-face interviews, really, especially in that first month across the country, were all done through Twitter and Facebook, and one just led to the other. We didn't really question it. We set out a course of where we would like to visit in the country, and we stuck to that schedule as best we could. But sometimes a place stuck out, or we stayed an extra day, or we had to leave, and no matter what decision
car
we
broke
made,
down.
Well, no, actually, I don't. Yeah, we didn't have any cars. That was definitely a benefit. We had a little bit of a run into this, but with the police department. But it was a great experience because no matter where we went or what we did, it just seemed to lead us to the right course, and we just stuck with that. And when we kept that pace I guess I could say, for the entire duration so far, and it's just been really beneficial. We've been able to really, we talk to people for a long time before we're on their radio shows or we interview them, and we really are able to build conversations with people, and I think that's been the most exciting thing, is just being able to personalize this as best as possible, and it really all started through social media and just the willingness to ask for a chance, ask people to give us a chance.
And it was nice to connect with the faces behind the Twitter, Facebook accounts, I would imagine.
It is, because, and that's, I think, that goes a couple ways, because, anybody can be anyone on social media.
Right.
And it's really easy to put up pictures and put things that are, inspiring and write things that are inspiring, but, what are you really doing? What's behind the digital image, and that's what and we were blown away by what was behind the digital images. It was one thing to see what these people were doing online, but to now be a part of their networks and their universes, and you start to see these collaborations. So it's great to be able to really meet those people, because it makes those connections, especially once you get back home and they might be far away. It really makes it so much easier to stay in touch and to really build on those relationships. And we're coming, and we go to so many different places multiple times that those physical networks have the opportunity to grow right in those different cities.
Right. What's the funniest thing that happened to you while you were on the road?
Oh, wow. Michelle, do you have anything that might stick out in your mind?
If you have something first, go ahead.
This isn't funny. Music. We've been introduced to so many different forms of music, but one of the funniest, absolute funniest interviews we did was we just kind of pulled into Austin, Texas, at this thing called the Honk Festival. And I don't know if anybody knows what the Honk Festival is, but it's this awesome display of basically marching bands that are in these ridiculous costumes that play, just huge, 40 to 50 person troops and they're in all sorts of different costumes. And my first interview was with a man that was dressed in a wrestling singlet that was painted like a bumblebee, and he was about 6'5" and 350 pounds, and he gave one of the most serious interviews, and I couldn't tell if he was being sarcastic the whole time, because I kept a straight face. But this man gave a profound interview, basically dressed up like a bumblebee. And so that was, and that was our first. That was our welcome to Austin, Texas. So we knew we were in for an awesome time down there. So that was definitely the best time.
And for me, it was also my first interview, because actually Michael started off on the road before I got out there. I flew out to Texas and went straight from the airport to the first interview. And the guy that we interviewed was I don't even know the right word. Actually, the words escape me, which is quite appropriate for this guy. So we would ask him a question, and he would just stare blankly into space, and it would be this dramatic pause, and he would go, what was the question again?
We think at one point I thought he fell asleep, but it was really late. It was like midnight. He might have actually fallen asleep. That was early in the interview process. It might have been us. It might have totally been us.
I don't know.
Well, some people sleep with their eyes half open, so you never know.
That's true.
I think he might be one of those walking, sleeping people.
Yeah, no.
Now, was any of that edited out, or is that all on there for us to see?
That may be the blooper reel.
Okay.
We have hundreds of hours, and I think the best parts have been we've been to almost every region of the country, and every part of this country has so many different flavors and cultures and tastes that it's different. You don't know what's going to come out of somebody's mouth.